Hi friends, I'm CCR Dreamer. In today's video, I will be turning cryptids into cuties, which means I will be drawing my favorite cryptids as cute ladies. First up, I will be starting off with the Mothman. Now, let's be honest, when it comes to Mothman, as a design there really isn't much to go on. He's simply depicted as a dark, moth-like figure with red eyes. In fact, urban legend-wise, he doesn't actually look that moth-like when people describe him. He's more of a demon-type figure. So, that made me think that female Mothman, or Moth Milf, as I like to call her, could be a moth succubus type hybrid. Sorry, but I have to make sure YouTube doesn't claim my videos as for children somehow, and for now that means admitting I'd be down for some of that moth mama. Anyway, I decided to base my design and more around how Mothman is depicted on the internet rather than an actual myth, simply because that's the version I truly fell in love with. Not gonna lie, after calling Moth Mama Milf, that makes it sound really weird, but regardless, I need to focus on talking about the design. I gave her fluffy long hair, and instead of just giving her a bunch of fluff around her neck as well, I decided to dress her up in a very sultry silk robe with a fluffy fringe. I figured this goes well with the fact that Mothman is usually seen at night because these types of robes are worn by women at bedtime. And it also gives her some much needed clothes which the Mothman lacks. Sorry, but as much as I'm all for free the titty, it's against YouTube terms of service, Mrs. Moth. I gave her glowing pink eyes rather than red simply because I thought it would be a better match to the navy blue skin tone I gave her. The reason I chose blue skin is because I felt like she needed a pop of color against all the gray I was adding to her design. Like, really, it was a really boring design before I added the blue. I also added a cute bow to the front of her robe with a skull on it because the Mothman is often cited as an ill omen, meaning to bring disaster or even death. Now, to be honest, the pose I chose for the full body drawing was purely for aesthetic purposes. It has an excellent line of action and her wings are easily seeable, which is important when you're trying to do designs for winged characters. Like, really, if you can't see the wings on a winged character, there's no point in putting wings. Like, legitimately. It's ridiculous. You have to have the wings be visible on the character if you're gonna have them have wings. I gave Moth Milf a pair of Mothman slippers, which now, honestly, I want a pair because they look so comfy. Last minute, I decided to add her lamp husband to her right hand as the hand felt boring by itself. Yes, Moth Milf is married to her lamp. No, you cannot date her. Though, honestly, I may actually design an object lamp husband for Moth Milf. If anyone in the comments is interested, let me know. Some of the other details I added were pink eyes to her moth wings and gray sparkles to the ruffles of her robe. I just thought the eyes would add a little bit of a creep factor and the sparkles were cute. In the end, I did this drawing in about 3 hours, but it was over the course of 2 days, so I forgot how I did the glowing eyes for the headshot. So I just settled for something else. It looks fine, honestly. I also gave her light bulb earrings because I felt like that would be totally something she'd wear. Anyway, here's Moth Milf and her husband, Lamp.
I'm not superstitious, but I am a little stitious.
Next up is the Snally-GAL-ster. The elusive Snally-GAL-ster of Maryland is a half-dragon, half-bird demon that sometimes is depicted with a Cthulhu mouth, or simply tentacles somehow in the design. If that's not terrifying enough, they also kidnap children and have a taste for human blood. For some reason, their only known enemy is the Maryland Wolfman. I didn't really read into the beef between these two, but I'm assuming it's just they both like terrorizing Maryland and refuse to share the land. I mean, honestly, who knows? It's probably like some enemies to lovers type thing. Remember that meme where everyone was like, oh my god, they were roommates? Well, my headcanon is with the Maryland Wolfman and Snally-GAL-ster, oh my god, they were Maryland Cryptids. I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself. I need to get back to the design. Anyway, nothing I read specified what type of bird the Snally-GAL-ster was, so I went with a flamingo Snally-GAL-ster. Now, I know what you're thinking. I probably should have gone with a bird actually native to Maryland. But this was simply so I could use pink again. I'm sorry. I know it's stereotypical. But I am a girl who really likes pink. It's not my favorite color. That's red, because that's the color of the blood of my enemies. Sorry. I mean, red is pretty, and it reminds me of roses. Moving on. So, I gave her a Cthulhu tentacle mouth with lipstick shaped like a tiny birdie beak, and some tentacle hair as well, so she wouldn't be bald. Her eyes are green like a reptile. Her little swimsuit is also green. I couldn't really think of anything better clothing-wise than this in the moment. I don't really know how I feel about it. It's meant to be like a dragon's belly, but maybe if I'd given myself more time on Pinterest, I could have thought of something more interesting. Who knows, maybe in a year or so from now I'll redraw it. Ironically, while I didn't want to give a bunch of fluff around Milf's neck, for Snally-GAL-ster I decided she needed a pink feather collar. It really frames her face, in my opinion. I chose the Snally-GAL-ster because I'd never seen anyone do a cute girl version of it. Many people have done Mothmans or babe squatches, even a few Nessies and wolf women. I wanted to doodle something different. Plus, I wanted at least one of the cryptids on this list to be deadly, as the other two are considered mostly harmless. I say mostly since, as I mentioned before, the Mothman is seen as a bad omen, but he does not directly cause any danger, at least from what I've read. Now, I could be wrong about this, as honestly, I didn't do as much research as I could for this video. I tried my best, but it was done in such a short time frame, and I had to dedicate most of my time to looking at Pinterest and trying to come up with designs. So the research kind of fell to the wayside, and I focused more on trying to make the designs cool rather than accurate. But I think I did at least hit a nice balance of being true to the source material. Hopefully. You guys can tell me in the comments at the end of the video whether I did a good job or not. I drew all the scales and feathers on her by hand, which for the sake of my carpal tunnel, I truly regret. I should have downloaded brushes for it, and hopefully I will remember that for the next time. I used a similar but slightly different process for each of these pieces. For this one specifically, I sketched and then laid down the flats underneath, and from there I painted over it in gouache brushes. That is usually my process to get a nice, mostly lineless style. I will add in colored lines as I go with pencils, and then because I'm too lazy to go in and shade every single layer, I merge it all, and then I just clip 2 layers over it, one for shading and one for highlights, and then I just go crazy with colors and try to figure out what looks best. Anyways, this has been my drawing and interpretation of the Snally-GAL-ster. I hope you like her. Alright, lastly is the much cooler Bavarian cousin to the American jackalope, the Wolpertinger. The Wolpertinger, according to legend, usually has the head of a rabbit, the body of a squirrel, the antlers of a deer, and the wings and legs of a pheasant. Descriptions of the Wolpertinger, though, greatly vary. As the legend goes, they are made from the union of many different animals. The truth behind the Wolpertinger, though, is they are basically created as a way for taxidermists to experiment splicing other animal parts together and selling the Frankenstein creations to anyone who would believe in the tales of the mythic beast. For my design, I figured since it is spring, I would draw a cute cottagecore Wolpertinger girl. I gave her a nice short haircut with a neat little sun hat, and drew her in a cute one-piece outfit with a sunflower on the front. I also gave her fangs, as that is another common Wolpertinger feature. At the time I got to this design, I realized I could be a lot messier with my sketches since I'd be painting over them anyway, but I'll probably forget this by next video. I'm forgetful sometimes. I did a quick color over the sketch when I was done, but not only did I forget to record the coloring process, I forgot to save the canvas!
No, God! No, God, please, no!
but it's okay. Thankfully, I did save a screenshot of the coloring because I was sharing the design with friends for feedback, so I was still able to use the colors I originally picked. Now, I would like to clarify, I didn't choose this palette completely by myself. I asked my friends to suggest some colors, and a buddy on Instagram suggested light blues. From there, I added some sandy yellows and nice purple details for pops of color. I'm not really someone to do an all one color palette. I just prefer not to limit myself. I mean, why pick only one color when the digital world literally gives you every known color to man available at your fingertips? So my designs tend to feature 3 colors at least. I gave her golden yellow eyes, light blue skin with a slightly darker hue of blue for her hair and tail, and I decided to make her wings the same color as her hair, but with a purple gradient for contrast. She has purple antlers, a yellow one-piece with dark grayish blue lace, and matching yellow and blue sandals. I also added more sunflowers to her basket and used lace brushes to make her outfit look prettier. In the end, I couldn't think of as much to say for her as I did for Snally-GAL-ster and Moth Milf. Obviously, color-wise, she's not really a Wolpertinger, but I like to think cryptids could be outlandish colors because they're sort of magical. So let's welcome the blue cottagecore Wolpertinger. Well, we've reached the end of the video, so here is all 3 of my cryptid babes together. Who was your favorite? Tell me, I genuinely want to know. Also, if you like this video, please subscribe, it really helps motivate me to keep making art, and feel free to leave a comment down below suggesting what I should draw for my next vid. That's all for today, folks. I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.